Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the edge of a vast forest, there lived a woman named Amina. She was known far and wide for her wisdom, beauty, and strength. Her skin was the color of polished ebony, and her eyes sparkled like the stars that adorned the night sky. She was a woman who could do anything, from tending to the crops to healing the sick, to solving the most intricate of problems with just a few words. Despite her many talents and kindness, Amina was never chosen by any of the men in her village. Each time a man came to ask for her hand in marriage, they would leave, their faces full of regret. The elders whispered among themselves, puzzled by this strange turn of events. The village was prosperous, and all the men were healthy, strong, and able-bodied, yet none of them seemed willing to marry Amina. The people in the village began to gossip, wondering why this beautiful, capable woman was being rejected. Some said it was because Amina was too independent, too proud, that no man could ever control her. Others whispered that the gods had cursed her, and that anyone who married her would suffer terrible misfortune. The most daring of the village's young men even declared, "She is too perfect, and a man like me could never live up to such greatness." One day, as the sun began to dip behind the trees, an old woman visited Amina's hut. Her skin was wrinkled with age, and her back was bent from years of carrying heavy loads. Yet her eyes were sharp, and her mind even sharper. She told Amina, "My child, it is not that the men of the village are blind to your beauty or your worth. It is because they are afraid. They fear what you might demand from them. You are a woman who has no need for a man to define you. You have the strength of a lion and the wisdom of 100 elders. But what they do not understand is that you, like all of us, seek love and companionship. The men are afraid to face a woman who has everything they can offer, and yet needs none of it." Amina sat in silence as the old woman's words echoed in her heart. She realized that the men were not rejecting her because of her flaws, but because of their own insecurities. They were afraid of a woman who could stand alone, who needed no one to complete her and yet still desired love. The old woman continued, "If you want to find love, you must teach them that true love does not come from weakness or fear. It comes from understanding, respect, and the willingness to walk alongside one another as equals." The next day, Amina gathered the men of the village. She stood before them, tall and dignified. With a calm voice, she said, "I know you are afraid, but I am not here to compete with you. I do not seek to control you, nor do I wish to be controlled. I want a partner, someone who will stand by my side, not behind me or in front of me. Love is not a cage, it is a partnership. Only then will we truly be strong together." Amina's words resonated deeply within the hearts of the men. Slowly, one by one, they began to realize that they had been afraid of something that could have only brought them greater joy. They had feared Amina's strength, but in truth, it was her strength that could help them become better men. In time, a man named Kofi stepped forward. He was not the strongest or the wealthiest, but he was kind and wise, and he saw in Amina not just a woman, but a true partner. He approached her, and with great humility he asked, "Will you marry me, Amina? I do not have all the riches in the world, but I can offer you my heart and my loyalty." Amina smiled, her heart full of warmth, and with a gentle nod, she accepted. They were married not because they needed each other, but because they chose each other, understanding that together, they were greater than they could ever be apart. And so Amina, the woman who had been rejected by all the men in the village, became the heart of a love that was founded on equality and mutual respect.